Welcome back to another board game chest, everybody. This time we are continuing the Grizzled. We are doing the cards from the base game. I have played the expansion. I can't remember if there's any. I assume there's different cards in that, but it's been a while, so we're just doing the base game. So here we go. We'll start off with all the basic cards, and then we'll do the hard knocks at the end just to get a sense for everything is. So as so this one might seem a little bit confusing. These are things that are supposed to hurt you most often. So with that in mind, I think how do we want to do this? I guess S tier will be best for the players because the players are playing these cards, and F tier will be the ones that are worse for the players. I can tell you right now, there will probably only be one card that is S tier because nothing else is actually good for you. But this is just your standard card, and it's B. Essentially, it would have one weapon symbol and then one weather symbol. So I just included one copy of this. There's a bunch that would be mask and snow, etc. But this would just be your standard card. So this one's gonna go in B. Okay, so then this is the other version of it, which includes traps. And these traps cards can be very, very difficult. Essentially, when you play them, you have to flip the top card of the deck, and it goes into play as well. So if these two happened to be in play, and then we played this, and we flipped another one with rain, we would fail the round, or however it works. This one's rough. It's not the worst thing in the world because if you go first, you're going to be pretty safe to be able to play one of these, and it does help you get closer to winning the game because you want to deplete the deck you're flipping from anyways. And again, you can play around these if there's no more cards in the top of the deck. If there's no more cards in the deck because they've all been dealt out to the players, you don't have to flip. So this one would go C. Okay, this is essentially the other version of this where this has no weather but two symbols. This one is also going to go to B. This card is horrible. This has all 6 symbols in one, so obviously that one's going to be F. This one has 3 weapons in one. I guess this will be a little bit hard. Well, I guess I'll just assume that people will watch this with me. So we'll put this here. This is essentially just the opposite of this one. So 2 weathers, no other ones. And then this one right here is 3 weathers and no weapons. So here we go. Now we are on to the hard knocks. As you can see, none of these are actively helpful for you. Yeah. So these are cards that get played on your character. I believe if you have 4 of these hard knock symbols on your character at the end of the round, then you lose the game, essentially. You can get rid of these with support, and there's a couple other ways to, actually maybe just like one other way to get rid of them as well. So, but let's see how they work. So Tyrannical, take the mission leader role and keep it, preventing the distribution of speeches. This one can be pretty rough. It's not the worst one in the world, but it's always going to hurt you. And because of that, I think we're going to put this one in C. Selfish. Your support tile is always redirected to yourself. This one is actually going to be A tier. There's many times that this is actually really, really helpful, especially because you already have a hard knock. So essentially, if you receive support, you can discard 2 hard knocks you have, or you can flip over your character to get their symbol back, their ability, essentially. And so for you to be selfish is a very clear way to be able to tell your team that you need the support here, that you have a bunch of other ones that you have to play. Yeah, sure, it could be bad with some traps, but in general, it's a good thing. Mute. You can no longer speak or communicate with other players in any way. You may not use a speech. So that's rough. It's not the worst thing in the world. Honestly, as far as I would say this one's actually B because it doesn't actively hurt you except that you can't play speeches. I guess if you were... The communication in this game is somewhat limited anyways, and if you are... So that makes this less effective or less detrimental. And the other thing about this is if you have a group, if you are playing this game with a group that you know well or have played with often, you often don't really need to communicate a ton because you kind of know what the goal of the game is and how to accomplish it. So, absent-minded. Before withdrawing, choose and remove one of your support tiles from the game. This one is not that bad immediately, but man, it can be painful in time. So we'll put that one in C. Fearful. On your turn, you must withdraw if 3 or 2 identical threats are active. So instead of being able to see rain twice, and then if it comes out a third time you're in trouble, you have to withdraw as soon as there's 2. Man, this card is hard to play around. I think this one's actually going to go to F. This one, if you don't remove this immediately, so essentially the best way to be able to play this is as your last action of your turn that you know you're going to get support. Then this card doesn't matter, but often that wouldn't matter much with any card. But if this card is out for a few rounds, you essentially do nothing and get stuck with a bunch of stuff, and no one can play traps or else they're worried that you're going to have to withdraw with a bunch of cards in your hand. So, clumsy. After your withdrawal, you must draw a trial card and play it. This one sucks as well. Very, very hard to work around. So, if the deck is empty, I guess that's something. But man, clumsy is just a very rough one. Demoralize. When your morale drops, flip 1 extra card. So that would normally be 4. It could be more than that. Wow, it's actually flip 1 extra card to a minimum of 4. Okay, I think we've been playing that right. Yeah, I knew that you would do a minimum of 4, so that makes sense. But if you had more, obviously, yeah, so we've been doing it right. But demoralize is very painful as well. It's going to be F tier. Fragile. Other players cannot withdraw as long as they have any cards in hand. Man, this one sucks as well. Yep, you just pigeonhole your friends. That's not a good thing. That one's going to be F as well. Merry Christmas, our 1 S tier card. Discard a hard knock card from yourself or another player. This is... Merry Christmas is the one good thing that happens that can make the game easier for you. Prideful. You may withdraw only if your hand is empty or you are the last one still in the mission. This one can certainly get you in trouble. It just... There's easy ways to get around this. You often don't have to play it, or... yeah, there's many ways to get around prideful being a big problem. So I'd say it's just B tier. Hard-headed. You cannot withdraw as long as you have 2 or more cards in hand. Hard-headed is another one that it shouldn't hurt you that much. You should be able to work around that. Panicked. During withdrawal. Draw your support tile randomly. Ooh, this one sucks. If you're getting support, it doesn't necessarily matter. But man, if you get unlucky... So number 1, it's theoretically going to be... It's not more... Yeah, honestly, we'll just put this one in C. I can't put it in F. I do think it belongs here, though. Frenzied. At the beginning of the mission, you must draw 2 extra cards. Frenzied might be the other one that's actually going to be A tier. There's ways that you can get around this. Instead of drawing 3 cards at the beginning of the round, you can all just decide to draw 2 cards. And then you get 2 extra cards, but that means that people get to withdraw. And if they have phobias, their phobias are no longer active once they've withdrawn. This is also theoretically helpful with Prideful, if you had Prideful and Frenzied, because you can you will most likely be the last one in the mission anyway, so it doesn't hurt you as much. There's just a lot of ways to get around Frenzied. Wounded, that's never good. Counts as 2 hard knocks. You see, it has 2 of those symbols on there. I'm actually only going to put this one in B, though. And the reason for that is the effect doesn't actually do anything on its own. You would have to have 2 other hard knocks cards for it to come into play, essentially. And then last we have 2 phobia cards. So these are essentially half of one of the basic cards and significantly less than all of these other cards that have more symbols. The problem is these stay out for the whole round, except as soon as you withdraw, they're not active anymore, as we mentioned, we were talking about Frenzied. So these are certainly not good for you, but I would say that they are averagely detrimental to you. So that'd be B tier. Yeah. All right, so I think that's our tier list. So as you can see from this game, this is a grim, difficult game. There's only 1 S tier card. There's 2 A tier cards, and I might even be being a little bit generous with Frenzied. And then, obviously, most of the cards will be in B tier, but it should be like that in most games. There's a lot of cards in C tier, and then there's many cards. There's more cards in F tier than there are in S and A put together. So that just shows you how difficult this game is. It's a really great game, though. Absolutely suggest checking it out.